Welcome back. You're tuned in to Market Fatafat, where we tell you all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. And now on technical, we're joined by Arpit Beriwal, who's the manager derivatives analyst, equity research from Motilal Oswal Financial Services. Hi, Arpit. Welcome to Market Fatafat. Arpit, coming to you first, then you've picked out Maruti Suzuki for us. Arpit, Maruti, it is trading around its record high levels. In fact, just in the last 5 days, it is up 4%. How do you play this counter? What is the upside that you're seeing here?
Yeah, so talking about Maruti, if you see in entire auto pack, last week you've seen quite a correction on auto space, but good recovery was seen from Maruti. So Maruti on technically it is given a range breakout on monthly scale. On weekly scale it is given a consolidation breakout after 4 weeks. On daily scale from past couple of sessions is forming higher highs, higher lows. So going forward, we are expecting good 7 to 8% upside move from current levels as well from a positional perspective. So technically it is quite strong. Today again we have seen a up move of almost 3.5-4% and trading a lifetime high. But positionally the auto pack is very strong, and with going forward we are expecting outperformance in Maruti. Looking at the overall chart structure, it is also holding well above the short-term moving average. So all in all, we are expecting good upside move towards 12,750 and then 13,000 plus levels in coming weeks. So it's a buy at current levels as well as on dip near 12,200. with keeping stop loss of 11,700 for an upside move of 13,200 levels.
Alright, let's move on then. Let's talk about Brigade Enterprises, and that particular counter is in focus. At one point in time, the stock was trading high above 5.5% or so, now holding on to good gains above 4.5%. Kotak Securities actually upgraded the stock to an add rating, and the reason why they've gone ahead with that upgrade, they're citing strong business prospects across the segments. Remember, the stock had fallen by 16% since Kotak's downgrade on concerns of potential ban on construction activity in Bangalore. This is because of the local water crisis. But now they have gone ahead and upgraded the stock. They're saying the onset of monsoon will address the situation, while the government projects would help structurally resolve the water crisis in Bangalore. Therefore, they have now set a target price of 1,025 rupees per share, and because of that sort of an upgrade coming in from Kotak Securities, the stock is seeing an uptick of above 4.7% right now, Ankita.
Absolutely, Cheryl. But moving on to another stock that is buzzing in trade, and that is Mazagon Dock. In fact, it is up, trading with the gains of 1.5% right now. And the news flow says that the Mumbai Port Authority has granted Mazagon Dock a long-term lease for land and building, including workshop and the Clark Basin for a long-term lease for the land and buildings. That includes a total of 14.5 acres of land. This property is located adjacent to the MDL Mumbai yard, and the lease will be effective from the 1st of April 2024 and will last till the 31st of March 2053, which is a period of 29 years. And the total cost of this allotment is going to be 354 crore rupees. Now, the board of Mazagon has already given the approval for this, and thereby facilitating the acquisition of the land on a long-term lease basis. And the back of that, Mazagon Dock is up and away 1.5% in trade today.
Right, that is Mazagon Dock for you. That's trading higher about 1.4%. But let's talk about everyone's favorite when it comes to the capital goods space or capex related theme, and that has to be L&T. The theme is that the fact that if you're bullish on India, you will have to be bullish on L&T. And the stock also, not just over the last 3 months, but if you look at the last 1 year or so, has performed exceedingly well. Where do you see headed now after a dip and a consolidation now after this 4% rise in the last 3 months? Where is the stock headed?
As rightly said, that if you look at the overall India story, so capital space has been one of the outperforming sector from past couple of months. So within that, L&T has been clearly on an uptrend. So last week we have seen some cool off from high levels from 3,700 to 3,500 levels. However, on weekly scale, it has retested its previous breakout zone of 3,500 levels from a strong bullish candle on daily scale. And last couple of sessions, we have seen a good recovery. So slowly, steadily, going forward, we're expecting that L&T is likely to scale new record highs towards 3,750, 3,850, 100 levels. So current junction, the risk reward is quite favorable because we have seen a cooler from high levels. So L&T would be a good buy at current levels. Or a minor dip towards 3,600 level, with keeping stop loss of 3,500 for an upside move towards 3,750, 3,800 zones.
All right, coming to you then, Gaurav, Welspun is what you picked out for us. I believe it is in the back of an order win. Take us through the details.
Welspun Corporation recently won an order worth 2,039 crore rupees, and this order is coming from India as well as from the USA. Now, why this order is important for the company is that company has mentioned that this order which is coming up from the USA will not only ascertain the business continuity from Q2 FY25, but this will also reaffirm the company's dominant position in USA market and in the USA onshore gas transmission sector. And on back of this, if you also look at the share price, it has reacted positively. The share has been up almost 2.5% in today's trade, and it was up almost 2.5% in yesterday's trade as well. So on the back of this, we should definitely track this stock and see how it performs in coming days.
Alright, that is Welspun Corp for you. That has been a buzz of late, like Gaurav mentioned as well. But Arpit, let's talk about JSW Steel. And how is this one looking on the charts to you right now?
So talking about the metal pack itself, we have seen good recovery in metal stocks. So talking about within metal pack, JSW Steel has been broadly an outperformer. However, technically, if you see on the monthly chart, last week it has retested its previous breakout zone of 770 levels. On weekly scale, we have seen a strong bullish candle. It wiped out the losses of the previous week. And on daily scale, it is on the verge of its falling supply trendline breakout. So looking at the overall chart setup from last 3 months, it has been in a range between 790 to 850 levels. But going forward, metal pack is quite strong, and in coming weeks, we're expecting a range breakout in JSW Steel. So closing above 835 levels would open the upside move towards 850, 888 levels. So JSW Steel would be a buy at current levels or a dip near 820 zones, with keeping stop loss of 790 for an upside move towards 850 and then 875 zones.
Alright, moving on, let's talk about Mahindra Life Spaces, and that particular counter was a buzz in today's trading session. At one point in time, you have Mahindra Life Spaces that was trading higher by about 2.5%. Now it's given up those gains, trading higher by only 0.5% or so. The company said they are going to launch a residential project in Bangalore, and on back of that, you saw the stock actually see a strong up move. You can see the spike because that's when the stock actually announced, or the company announced that particular news. The stock gaining for a second consecutive day, only if these gains hold for now, Ankita.
Absolutely, Cheryl. But moving on, Arpit, coming to you, Rico Auto is what you've picked out for us. So just look at the kind of moves this stock has given. 80% gains over last 6 months. In the last 1 month, it has moved up, almost 55% in trade. What is the upside you're seeing? Is it time to really book out profits or hold for now?
So talking about Rico Auto, if you have seen in the past couple of weeks, you have seen good upside momentum in Rico Auto. Technically, on monthly scale, it has given a range breakout after 7 years. And generally, the bigger the breakout, the bigger the upside. On weekly scale, last week when market was in pressure, mid cap, small cap, it retested its previous breakout zone of 110 levels, and then sharp recovery was seen from lower zones. On daily scale, it is holding well above its 125, 130 levels. So going forward, we are expecting good 15 to 20% upside move in coming weeks or in coming 1 to 2 months view. So Rico Auto positionally quite strong. We would recommend at current levels or a minor dip towards 137, 138 levels, with keeping stop loss of 125 for an upside move towards 165 and then 175 zones.
Alright, that is the take coming in on Rico Auto. But Ashesha, coming to you, Carborundum, why is this one in the spotlight today?
Yes, Aquarius has come out with a positive report on this counter, and hence the stock is gaining nearly 12% as we speak. So it is maintaining its long stance on the stock with a target price of 1,315 rupees per share, indicating nearly 14% upside from yesterday's closing price, and the stock already has run up nearly 7% as we speak. They have in their report said that core profit of the company is likely to get a boost on account of fading headwinds that the company was facing for the last couple of years. Major headwinds for the last 3 to 4 years are likely to fade out in FY25, leading to solid core profit growth for the company is what they've mentioned in their report. They estimate the company to report profit CAGR of nearly 24% over the period FY24 to 27. And on the back of this report, we have the stock gaining nearly 7.5% today. This is the highest level that we saw since September last year, marking 4th consecutive day of gains. So on the back of this Aquarius report with a long rating, the stock is gaining in trade today.
Absolutely, Ashesha. Moving on, Gaurav, coming to you, Man Infra is what you picked out for us. It is on the back of an order win. In fact, this stock is gaining more than 2% in trade right now. Tell us, what is this order win all about?
Well, yes, MICL has won yet another order, and this is from the project which is going to happen on Marine Lines. Now, this is going to be a luxury sea-facing residential project by the company, and company has said that this is said to be yet another tallest residential project which will be made by MICL Group, and this will surpass the height which will be above 800 feet levels. Now, talking about the total size of the project, this will offer total RERA carpet for sale, which will be around 5.3 lakh square feet, and this will generate into total sales of 2,100 crore rupees. I mean, more than 2,100 crore rupees for the company. And on back of this, the company has said that they can also achieve profit before tax of more than 400 crore rupees levels from this project. Now, talking about the company's track record, it has been a company which has sold its inventory before time, and that is why if we look at the stock performance also, the market is treating this news on a positive note, and the stock is up almost 2% in today's trade.
All right, that is actually Man Infra. I know you were not wrong by saying 4% because Gaurav, at that point in time, it was up 4%. Now it is given up some of those gains. But nevertheless, let's slip into a break on this edition of Market Fatafat. When we come back, we'll continue taking you through all the stocks. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET Now, and with me I still have Ankita. She's not gone away, and I'm sure you already devoured all of those microns, didn't you?
Absolutely, and love them too, Cheryl.
Absolutely, and you'll also love them if you watch that special telecast. We had the timing play for you, Saturday and Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Isn't
Absolutely,
it?
Cheryl.
Yes, don't miss that special episode. I'm sure it's going to be yummy. But let's talk about Sarda Energy and how are things working for that particular counter. If you look at the stock, it was actually seeing a sharp uptick of about 11% last time I checked, now 13%. The company has said that its ARM JV got a letter of intent for composite license for an iron ore block in the state of Maharashtra, and the stock now is on track for the best day since June 14, 2021. So everything's working well for this particular stock. 13% uptick on an intraday basis. In fact, it's at the day's highest point now.
Absolutely, Cheryl. But moving on, coming to you, Arpit, you've picked out Sapphire Foods for us. Tell us, what are you seeing on the charts for this one?
Talking about Sapphire Food, so if you see over the monthly structure, it is coming out of a good range breakout after almost 2 years above 1480-1500 levels. On weekly scale, it is given a classical ascending triangle breakout above 1520 levels. So generally such patterns has a good upside move towards 8 to 10% from current levels in medium term view. The daily scale also, it is forming higher highs, higher lows. Some cool off is seen from higher levels, but positionally the structure is quite strong. It is trading above with short term moving averages, and good 8 to 10% upside move is seen in coming weeks. So Sapphire Foods can be bought at current levels or a minor dip towards 1570, 1580 levels, with keeping stop loss of 1480 for an upside move towards 1700 and then 1800 zones.
Alright, moving on to the other counter then, Lemon Tree. Lemon Tree, this one is on an acquisition and hotel acquisition spree, for a while now. In fact, this news flow is that they have signed a franchise agreement for the upcoming hotel in Ranchi, and this will be the third upcoming property for Lemon Tree Hotels in the state of Jharkhand. Now, Lemon Tree Hotels Ranchi will feature 45 well-appointed rooms, a restaurant, bar, meeting rooms, a swimming pool, and so on. And this is expected to open by FY25. So that's the news flow on Lemon Tree Hotels, currently trading with minor gains of 0.2%.
All right, that's the latest coming in on Lemon Tree. But Arpit, let's talk about ICICI Bank, and how is this one looking to you on the charts right now? A lot of them have been talking about private sector banks, saying that the rally will be now led by them. 9% uptick in the last 3 months. More scope of an upside. People should be patient.
We're talking about ICICI Bank. It has been one of the outperform within the banking space from past almost 2 years, and we have been quite positive about the stock itself. So technically also, if you see, it is trading at its lifetime high levels. Monthly scale, it is forming higher highs, higher lows. On weekly scale, it is trading in a broader range between 1050 on the upper band 1111. So in spite of underperformance by banking stocks, we have seen strong outperformance within the ICICI Bank space. So going forward also, we are expecting good 7 to 8% upside move in ICICI Bank. So ICICI Bank would be a buy within the private banking space at current levels, for a minor dip towards 1070, 1080 levels, with keeping stop loss of 1040 for an upside move towards 1111 and then 1150 levels.
All right, coming to you, Gaurav. Shriram Finance is what you picked out for us. I believe it is on the back of a note by Jeffries. Tell us what is the note saying.
Well, yes, Shriram Finance is going to be in focus because now Jeffries has initiated with buy rating and a target price of 2,750 rupees. So what they believe is that we have seen a healthy growth in the loan book of Shriram Finance, and they believe that they can sustain this loan book growth from here on as well. They also believe that we may see some kind of range bound margins in the company from here on, but the operational expenses are going to get eased off, and this is going to get over the next 2 years. And at the same time, they also believe that we may see steady asset quality and credit cost for the time here on. At the same time, we also saw some of the big block deals happening in the company. So 7.78 million shares changed hands in the morning, which is almost 2.1% of the equity which changed hand. And on back of this, if we also look at the share price performance, it was up almost 2% in the morning, but now the gains have been eased off. But still, this is a stock which will definitely be in focus from here on.
Right, definitely a stock to be in focus from here on. Definitely be in focus when we come back on Tuesday, because we'll get the names of who are the buyers and the sellers in the block deal. But let's move on. Let's talk about Grover and Wheel, or Grovel as most of them know it. This particular counter is a buzz in trade today. It saw an uptick of as much as 6.4% or so. It's a specialty chemicals company. It has entered into a technology transfer and license agreement with Germany's OTMK, and the deal will be for manufacturing, selling and operating plant and operating plant for electroplating and other industrial finishes. So on back of that, the company is, the stock is seeing a good up move, 6.6% on an intraday basis. Now it's trading higher by 4.5%. Ankita.
Right, Cheryl. Arpit, coming to you then. Apollo Hospitals is what you picked out for us. Consolidation coming in for this one in the last 1 month. Time to buy now?
Yeah, as you rightly said, so Apollo Hospital has been the preferred pick within the pharma pack. So past couple of weeks, if you see in the stock corrected from higher levels, from almost 6,800 corrected towards 6,200 levels. On daily scale, it is given a classical range breakout after 15 sessions with good surge in volumes, strong bullish candle above 6,300 levels. So today will be the weekly close as well. So we are expecting good 4 to 5% upside move towards 6,500, 6,600 levels. So Apollo Hospital is a current junction is quite risk reward is quite good, quite favorable. So one can buy at current levels or a near dip towards 6,300 levels with keeping stop loss of 6,200 for an upside move towards 6,500 then 6,600 zones.
All right, moving on, Ashesha, let's talk about Indigo. What's the news flow around this particular counter today?
Well, yes, they are holding their second ever physical analyst meet today, and they've uploaded their presentation earlier in the day where they said that they've achieved all their guidance for FY24, and for FY25 they say that they are eyeing passenger and capacity growth of early double digit in FY25. They plan to add 1 aircraft every week and 10 more destinations to their network. We also have some more takeaways that have come in where they say that fourth quarter yields are likely to be higher on a year-on-year basis as against their earlier expectations of flat growth in the fourth quarter. They are also in talks with the government on implementation of new norms related to pilot fatigue. There is shortage of pilots in the systems, and hence new norms could lead to higher costs and eventually higher fares. So some important takeaways that have come in from the analyst meet, and the stock continues to remain in focus in the back of that.
All right, let's move on to the other stock then. Texmaco Rail and Engineering. Well, that's also in focus because the company has reportedly been preparing to initiate a QIP. Now, the base size, issue size of the placement is expected to be around 1,500 crore rupees, and the company's goal is to dilute an equity of 4.2% as per sources. Now, the proposed price of the QIP is 155 rupees, which represents a 6.4% discount on the closing price, and on the back of that, Texmaco Rail is in focus today. In fact, it is trading with a downtick of 1.3%.
All right, that is Texmaco Rail for you. But with that, 34 stocks that we've taken in this edition of Market Fatafat, and that was the last stock indeed. Thank you so much, Arpit, for joining us on the show, along with Sneha, Gaurav, as well as Ashesha. Thank you for putting, or rather taking our viewers through all the stocks that are moving in trade. With that, we are totally out of time on this week's edition of Market Fatafat as well. So it's a goodbye from our producer Shreyansi Ruchira, our director Trevor, as well as Ankita and myself. Thank you so much for watching.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.